October 31st, Hain, also known as Halloween or All Hallows Eve as designated by the Catholic Church. This date is the Illuminati's highest day of human sacrifice. Halloween has been changed over the past 30 years in two important ways. First, children have been encouraged to participate by donning such inoffensive costumes as Barbie, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Secondly, adult costuming and parties have reached a tremendous apex and has become a most macabre day of celebration. I can tell you, folks, some of the Halloween parties I've been to in Dallas in the last 10 years as a single man, it's the most debauchery you'll see all year long. I shouldn't laugh. Historically, Halloween is the deadliest holiday ever celebrated in human history. This satanic night is dedicated to the Celtic lord of the dead, also symbolized by the horned god and the stag god. The one with antlers, Santa Claus or Nuno. The Druids celebrated Samhain as a 3-day fire festival, building large bonfires, thought to ward off demons that roamed around. Additionally, the fires provided the means by which the required human sacrifice would be presented to the sun god, Baal, parentheses. In enormous wicker baskets, the priests caged both human and animal sacrifices, which they then lowered into the flames. The priests would carefully watch the manner in which the victim died in order to predict whether the future held good or evil. Ugh. The origin of popular Halloween traditions, sweets and trick-or-treat. This pagan practice is over 2,000 years old. For the sake of their safety and well-being, people put outside their home sweets, the best mutton legs, vegetables, eggs, and poultry, honey, and even wine, so the wandering evil spirits would consume them on their way back to the netherworld. Failure to treat these evil spirits might result in a curse being put on the home. The people literally believed that when these spirits came to your door, they would trick you if you did not treat them. Horrifying costumes. People would also take burning wisps from the fire and wave them around to frighten many evil spirits from roaming the earth. In the case of burning wisps alone would not work, revelers clothed themselves in the most hideous and terrifying costumes. These people believed that if you dressed in a terrifying costume and went trooping around with spirits all night, they would think you were one of them and just leave you alone. Huge bonfires. Satan's obsession with fires produced human obsession with building huge bonfires. As we stated earlier, these bonfires were practical in that they provided by means which the priest sacrificed the human and animal sacrifices so crucial to Halloween. When the last fires died out, people would race each other down the hill shouting, "The devil gets the last one down." Divinations. Samhain, Samhain, Halloween, was also the time to engage the devil's assistance in divining the future. Questions concerning marriage, luck, health, and the time of one's death were most popular subjects of divination. In Scotland, young people assembled for games and pulled shoots out of the ground to ascertain which of them would marry during the upcoming year and in what order the marriages should occur. I guess kind of like drawing straws. Short one. Snap Apple Night. Snapple. Apples have long been a token of love and fertility. At Halloween parties, people bobbed for apples in tubs of water. If a boy came up with an apple between his teeth, he was assured of the love of his girl. The snap apple game was one in which the boys delighted. Each boy in his turn would spring up to attempt to bite an apple that was being twirled around on the end of a stick. The first boy to succeed would be the first to marry. Oh my God, Snapple. That's what it's about. Apple seeds were also used to tell fortunes. Peeling an apple in one long piece was supposed to tell a young girl about her future, and the girl would swing the apple peel 3 times around her head and then throw it over her left shoulder. If the peeling fell unbroken, the girl would examine the shape into which it fell to see if she could ascertain the initials of her future husband. I think my ex-wife tried to teach me that once. She's from a small town in Arkansas. Witches, familiar spirits. Owls, bats, cats, and toads are an essential part of Halloween, and for a very good reason. They're known as the witches' familiars. A divining familiar of the species of animal whose shape Satan would assume to aid the witch in divining the future. A witch would closely watch the animal's movements, whether slow or fast. She would see the direction in which the animal moved and the kinds of sounds it made in order to foretell the length of life or an impending illness. Another familiar spirit shapes include hens, geese, small dogs, rats, butterflies, wasps, crickets, and snails. Witches consider these creatures to be demon-possessed and controlled. If you look closely at most Halloween decorations, you will see these animals, but now you know they represent demon-possessed creatures. That's from a book called The Pagan Traditions of Holidays, pages 75 and 76. Jack-o'-lantern and trick-or-treat. Various names for jack-o'-lantern were lantern men, hob-o'-langer, and will-o'-the-wisp. The lantern men got their name from the pale, eerie lights that appeared over the bogs and marshes in England when these ghostly lights, which bobbed along like a lantern in someone's hand, were called corpse candles. Candles were said to be signals from the souls of men lost at sea. Celts or Celts often hollowed out a turnip and carved out a grotesque face on it to fool demons, and they carried such lanterns to light their way in the dark to ward off evil spirits. While the turnip continues to be popular in Europe today, the pumpkin, they were so stupid, has replaced it in America. Jack is a nickname for John, which is a common slang word meaning man. Jack-o'-lantern represents and literally means man with a lantern. Druid trick-or-treat. The Druids originated the practice of hollowing out the jack-o'-lanterns and filling them with human fat. Whenever a raiding party came to a home to demand of the husband that someone inside be surrendered as a human sacrifice, they would light a jack-o'-lantern filled with human fat. If the husband relented and provided one of his loved ones as a sacrifice, the Druid party would leave jack-o'-lantern on the porch. Maybe you could take Bobby. No, Stephen. No, Julie this year has been special. I don't know. How did anybody live through this crazy time? Back when they invented this crap. This lantern would tell the other raiding parties that the demonic host at this party had surrendered a human for sacrifice and that the remaining people inside would be left alone. Guaranteeing that no one else in the house would be killed that night was the treat. If the husband refused to surrender one of his loved one, a trick would be placed upon the house, and the members of the raiding party would draw a huge hexagram, including using human blood on the front door. And they got the blood for the hexagram from a dead body they dragged around with them using a cable tow. That's the same as where the putting blood on a door frame so they'll pass you by. That comes from somewhere else, folks. You thinking? The demonic host would be attracted from the synagogue of Satan. The demonic host would be attracted to this hexagram and would invade the house, causing one or more of the inhabitants to either go insane or die from fright. This is the true origin of trick-or-treat and the jack-o'-lantern. So that's why you put the jack-o'-lantern on your porch, so the demonic entities that pass by your house will know that you already gave up someone in your family for a human sacrifice that night, and they'll leave you alone. Did you know that, folks? Do you really want to take your kids trick-or-treating? Forbidden practices, especially associated with Halloween. God lists satanic practices that he absolutely forbids on the pain of death. Every one of them is uniquely associated with Halloween. Enchantment, the act of influencing by charms and incantation, using the practice of magical arts. Witchcraft, don't need to describe, but you know, Harry Potter, Bible forbids it. Bewitched, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, horror. Sorcery, the use of power gained from prescribed rituals. Divination, fortune-telling and seeing into the future, tarot cards and such. Wizardry, the art or practices of a wizard. Sorcery, a wizard or witch, which is one skilled in magic arts. Necromancy, communication with the dead, specifically conjuring up spirits of the dead for the purposes of magically healing or revealing the future or influencing the course of events. And charm, practice of putting a spell on someone or hexing someone. Wizards love to get their enemies one-on-one because they can charm them through the use of ritual. Stargazing or astrology, divination of the supposed influence of the stars and other heavenly bodies upon human lives and the affairs of nations. Soothsaying, foretelling events and prophesying through the spirit other than the Holy Spirit. Prognostication, to foretell from signs and symptoms, also prophesying without the Holy Spirit. And magic, tapping into the power of the demonic realm through the use of prescribed ritual. Stop listening to people give you empty excuses and groundless arguments for these sins. For if you go ahead and participate in this most evil holiday, God shall surely not look away. One final note on Halloween. If you've been paying attention, you will see that these practices form the heart and soul of the Harry Potter novels. Yes, I've noticed that from the beginning, folks. I've never read a Harry Potter novel, and I never got into it because I saw it as just a wicked way to bring out all of witchcraft, which I don't like at all. His entire existence within these novels revolves around the Hogwarts School of Wizardry and Witchcraft. This has been introducing our children in a whole generation now that are adults that know Harry Potter and all this witchcraft. It's been a travesty on humanity. Thank you for coming to Plain Mundane Show. And remember, boycott Halloween. Boycott Halloween. Boycott Halloween. We don't need it, folks. Let's give it up. Thank you for coming. Please hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I'm Alex Aquarius.